I mean, I really can't envision it, but you know, what if you had to make an emergency table for some reason?
For speed. Like someone has to lay on a flat surface because you got to do something for their cut or something like that. Like how to build a slab dash table that will be sturdy enough.
I have 2 small saws, and this is probably the best one to use for this.
Why is this one better?
Just because it feels bigger, it feels better in hand.
Which would you use if you had to fight zombies?
If I had to fight zombies?
Maybe both. Why give one up?
Yeah, why give one up? You know, two-handed stuff. And this is going to be really good because you'd have to saw their heads off.
Right. Well, that's the nice thing about a toolkit is that you have a very nice, convenient box of weapons that if you need something in a pinch, you know, you got it right there. And no one feels threatened when you walk into a place with a toolbox, right?
Generally not.
Generally. So we got the 2 saws.
Everywhere, we're going to do this with screws. We're going to put screws in everything. So we're going to have to pre-drill the holes.
Pre-drill the holes.
If you were to pound a nail into this, it just split the wood.
Yeah.
But first we need to cut our 2 pieces.
Right. So now this is, we've already decided both are good for zombie attacks. But we like this saw better for cutting.
Yeah, so just kind of notch it. Get a notch up here. Just push forward just a little bit. There you go, and that started.
How do you not get it? See how I got an angle going? That can't be good.
That's probably not good.
Why do I have an angle starting?
If you ever saw, there was one of the Jeremy Brett Sherlock Holmes ones, where he told the guy he was right-handed, and the guy goes, well, how do you know I'm right-handed? I haven't used my hands. And he goes, I can tell by the way you cut your beard. Because you use one hand, so you tend to curve in on this side and curve out on this side.
Right.
So your beard is never symmetrical. So the same thing works when you're right-handed and left-handed. You're not straight up. You tend to be at an angle.
At an angle.
All
right, so I'm going to angle this down. Why am I angling this at the last
So that when you cut the bottom edge, you're going to cut it instead of coming straight through and the whole thing breaking off, because this weight's going to make it drop. It'll reduce the amount that you're going to splinter or
yeah, because every time I cut wood, I always have the end like a little spear sticking out.
Yeah. So
the trick is the angle.
So now we're going to. We should attach.
Oh, we only had to cut 2.
We only had to cut 2.
Because these are for the inside. These aren't the tables. These aren't the legs. These are for the frame.
These are for the frame.
Oh, okay.
For any actual craftsmen out there, if I was making this for my house, I would do this a lot differently. If I was making this to sell.
Well, yeah, but you're making this for the apocalypse.
Right.
And for you're showing a man who's incompetent.
So basically, all you need for the apocalypse on a table like this is something to do your work on. Whatever you're doing, hunting, gathering, because you don't want to squat in the dirt.
No, who wants to do that?
You want to stand up and do something, right?
Or you sit if you're sewing and have a nice flat table.
Right.
So you're just going for ease of build and flat. And
yeah.
And that's it, basically.
Yeah, so this is kind of basic. Yeah, very, very, very basic. I'm going to give you a tip. In case you don't have a drill like this and the apocalypse comes up, find yourself a pair of pliers, find yourself a vice grip, whatever, stick your drill bit in it, and you could actually do it like this, which will take you forever and ever and ever.
But if that's all you got, that's all you got.
Yeah. All right, so we got the frame roughly centered, and we're going to mark around it. And this is not particularly a lazy way of doing it, but
it's a quick way to do it.
It's a quick way to do it. So now we know exactly where the frame's going. So since we want to attach the frame to the tabletop, we're going to drill through the tabletop, put our holes in here, so that we can screw the frame right onto the tabletop. Then it won't move. Then we'll be onto the legs. And just strong enough for everyday kind of basic use. I think it'll be 2 to each side. If you needed more heavy duty, we might put bigger legs on it, and we might put more screws in it.
Well, we're not using any power tools, so we want it to be
Right.
kind of...
We want it to be simple. Cool.
So we have successfully prepped the holes, I guess?
Yeah, pre-drill the holes. Just keep things together a little bit better. Don't be shy about it, because it's not like anybody's going to see this under here.
Right, right. And currently there's no shortage on glue.
Yes. Although most of this glue is made from animals.
It's animal fat, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like, you know, when they say in the summer when I use this glue out in the field, flies love it. Without power tools, sometimes the screwing things in is really hard. So you're just screwing like this, like you normally use a screwdriver. But you'll get to a point where it becomes hard. And at that point you need a little bit more force downward on it. Put your hand on here, this might hurt a little bit. And then with this hand, twist.
That works a lot better. Perfect.
And that works.
So we got the top completed, right?
Yes.
It passes inspection. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 for each, 2 for each frame, which is on the bottom.
Correct.
We're ready to flip.
Alright, now we're going to mark the corners so we can put the legs in. Just put a little square there. We're going to drill a hole through the center of this little square in the corner. Run a screw from the top into the leg.
Because that's nice and quick and easy.
Nice, quick and easy, and it'll keep the legs on good. We don't actually have long enough screws to go in through the sides, but we're going to pre-drill these holes so that we can put longer screws in at some later date.
At our convenience.
Yes, before you put car engine on top of this, we'll put those screws in.
Right.
But if we're just cleaning a rabbit, it'll be okay. Sure.
All right, what are we doing?
We're clamping this in place so that when we screw through the top of this, when we drill the hole through the top of this and put the screw in, it doesn't move.
So we've got a completed table for a slap and dash sort of situation.
True.
What were the what was the basic steps that we did to build this table again?
Putting a frame to the bottom of the table
Frame the bottom of the table
and attaching the legs.
and attaching the legs.
That's it.
There you go.
So this is a chair from IKEA. It's the same basic thing as we did with the table over there. You see you've got a frame attached to this would be the tabletop, and then the legs attached to it. See the screws on the side holding it together. This one just happens to have a back and additional supports at the bottom, because if you're sitting on it, you'd rather not have the table fall over on you.